Rival House Network.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Mask.
What's up, freaks?
Episode 9.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
We are back. Sorry for the delay.
God damn it.
It's been a while. Probably about a month now. I think the last one we dropped was around, Thanksgiving or so?
That was a few days ago, dude.
Fuck, I'm out of it, man. Halloween, I mean.
Oh, yeah, Halloween, man. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, about a month ago.
That just says it all right there, but...
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long month or two.
Yes, it has, man. We've had a lot of just... past 4 weeks or so for me have just been stress-filled and shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Just doing work on our house and all kinds of shit. So I'm extremely glad to be here doing another show right now.
Yeah, as you can probably tell, we've been pretty absent on the Facebook as well, so we apologize for that.
Apologies.
It's just tis the season, right? Where you got a lot of shit to worry about, but we got a little review for you here in this show.
I'm very excited about this one too. I mean, I'm gonna reserve all my comments for the actual review here in a little bit, but I'm very excited to talk about this film, The Last Circus.
The Last Circus, yeah.
Yes.
And we'll get into that here in the next couple segments, and
we're actually going to be. I don't know. Are we going to be absent RedRocket this show?
Yeah, we might be. He might be in one of these segments. We'll surprise you if it's in there. If it's in there, but
and I don't know. He's changing his name to Goose now.
He's Mother Goose.
Mother Goose.
I've always called him the Goose ever since high school. I don't know why, but
like a Top Gun thing. Or?
Yeah, I don't know. Something sexual, I'm guessing. Yeah, it was back in the day. It just kind of stuck, but
right on. Yeah, I just changed my name. I'm a symbol now.
Oh, you're a symbol?
Yeah, I'm the
artist formerly known as Lush?
The drunk formerly known as the Lush.
Oh, the drunk, okay.
my symbol shaped like a giant cock. No, I'm kidding. I'm still just the Lush.
The artist formerly known. Then you could just change it to the cock.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Just be the cock.
But
nope, still the Lush.
Yeah, but he might be joining us. Trying to figure that out as we speak. But we got any news you want to talk about, or
I don't really have much news this time.
There's not a whole lot of news right now. And convention season, of course, is kind of winding down. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff coming up. First part of the next year, which I'm sure we'll get into on the next show.
Yeah.
Because, hopefully we'll do one more show here before the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely do that. But
so we'll get into that, the conventions and upcoming conventions and stuff on the next show. I'll do a little digging, maybe the first couple of months of the new year and all that, and let you guys know what's coming.
Yeah, I've been looking a little bit around. I checked out Whorehound's website, and they had a few celebrities. I think they might have been having like a Day of the Dead, like zombie reunion or something, or some kind of Day of the Dead reunion, which is one of probably my favorite movie out of any of them. So. That might be up my alley to check that out, but it also has, I think who's headlining it was, what was her name? From Species.
Oh, Natasha Henstridge.
Natasha Henstridge, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess she's headlining, which really doesn't, give me a hard-on.
I had a big old 12-year-old hard-on for her when that movie came out.
Yeah, but it's not somebody I really care about meeting.
Yeah, no, now I could really give two shits, but... Maybe if I was still 12.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's no Corey Feldman or Eddie Furlong or anything like that.
Come on now. Was that the one we've been talking about trying to get out to, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one that already happened. Yeah,
in like March.
That one was March. Yeah,
yeah, coming up in March.
Yeah, but that was that one was last March. But
yeah,
we'll give you some news about that probably next episode, and got a few DVD releases. Blu-ray releases we want to talk about. The first one I want to throw out there was Don't Open Till Christmas. It's I think it's kind of a slasher Christmas movie. It's put out by Mondo. And basically, I think this is the first time it's been released in the U.S.
Yeah, it's from the producers of the film Pieces.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking classic.
And that should be coming out here December 6th. And we've been actually trying to track it down contacted them, so maybe we can get a review about that on the show.
It'd be great to do like a Christmas special.
Yeah.
Christmas review.
It's something I haven't seen before, and a lot of people are excited about the releasing, so keep an eye out for that. If it gets you hard, then might as well, check it out. But that one, then also this one won't get you hard. The Fright Night remake will be coming out here in the next few weeks, which I saw in the theaters because had the whole double date action going on, and they wanted to see Fright Night, so I was like, yeah, I'm game. And
I would have said, go fuck yourself.
Nah. Walked out of there with $24 less in my pocket, and I'm very pissed off. And let's just say it wasn't the greatest of nights, but. Yeah, Fright Night, for those of you that enjoy, vampires, and I don't even.
It's got to be better than Twilight, right?
And you had to bring that up because I did.
I had to bring it up.
Something I have to talk about.
Yes, yes.
RiverMan took his old lady to go see Twilight for her birthday.
It was her birthday, so
let's just say it wasn't the greatest of films. I was kind of bored out of my mind. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I seen the first one years ago, and of course never seen any since. But I didn't know what was going on. Basically, they were sitting on an island, talking about having sex, and then finally having sex, and she has some kind of vampire baby, and basically she looks hot, really hot in the beginning, and then towards the end she looks like, near death, like she looks deathly ill.
But in the next movie, she'll be a shiny, pretty vampire.
Pretty much. And yeah, she got bitten. Spoiler alert. And she'll be a bloodsucker now. So, but I do find her pretty attractive, though. I mean, a lot of people shit on her, but I mean, she's not a great actress.
No,
I find her, I find her attractive, though.
Yeah, she's cute. I mean, I'm not a big fan of her acting wise, but
no.
The only one thing I did think she was okay in was
Adventureland?
No, I still haven't even seen that, actually. It was Into the Wild.
Oh, yeah, she was great.
When she was like that trailer bitch.
And that was, it was one of my favorite films, actually. She was really good.
Great movie. Great movie. Yeah, she had a small part in that, but I thought she, I think maybe with her less is more, Yeah. Because it was a small part.
I totally forgot she was in that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Strips down to her underwears and tries to get a piece of
Christopher McCandless's
McCandless,
12-incher.
But his legend lives on, apparently.
That's right. Lived in a bus and he had the. Okay, let's.
I got this 12 inches of cock and nowhere to put it.
That's right.
Guess I'll just stick it in the snow and freeze to death. I'm sorry.
Eating fucking twigs and berries.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then try to cross a river when I look like a skeleton because I'm so damn hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, off that topic. What's the last thing? Oh, yeah. Intruder on Blu-ray. That should be coming out December 13th. We were lucky enough to get our screener from Synapse this week, so
stay tuned for some review of that.
Intruder review.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll maybe do that on the next show, or maybe we'll get a video review up of it or something. One of us will, or
But yeah, keep an eye out for that. I just threw one up of Frankenhooker. They sent us Frankenhooker, and also be looking out for Maniac Cop. Mm-hmm. And also, what did you get? You got one too.
South of Heaven.
South of Heaven.
We might as well talk a little bit about this. I mean, we got these movies from Synapse Films.
Yeah.
Great company. We love those guys. They put out fucking awesome stuff. Mm-hmm. And they've been nice enough to send us stuff. And the last, I think, bunch we got was Maniac Cop, Frankenhooker, and South of Heaven, right? Mm-hmm. And Maniac Cop and Frankenhooker were both on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And like you said, RiverMan just did a video review for Frankenhooker, mm-hmm.
which
is up on the YouTube page.
Great movie if you like, 90s cheese, like Dead Alive type of Henenlotter.
Yeah, Henenlotter
stuff.
Brilliant. I mean, he did the Basket Case movie.
Yeah.
And Brain Damage and stuff like that. So if you're a fan of that, check it out. How was the Blu-ray? Did it look?
It looked pretty solid, man.
Nice.
I think I gave it like a 7 out of 10. The Blu-ray and special features. I don't think the special features were in HD, but overall, I mean, it looked pretty solid for for that transfer. But
sweet.
I was happy with that. That was the first time I actually saw the film.
Yeah.
So I was very happy with the film. I really enjoyed it. It reminded me of something like that, or an Evil Ed. I think we talked about that a little bit, but that early '90s feel, I really dug it. So check out that review, guys, if you guys are interested in that, and
cool.
Look for the Maniac Cop and South of Heaven.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting on the South of Heaven video review here soon. I'll just say right now, it was a fucking amazing film. Mm-hmm. I absolutely fucking loved it.
You've been really talking it up, man.
Oh, man.
I'm excited to check it out.
As a fan, because I think, some of our listeners know that I'm a fan of, old school film noir stuff. And this was kind of done in that style. Mm-hmm. And so it was just, it struck a chord with me. It was kind of near and dear to me for that reason. And I really enjoyed it, man. It was a brilliant movie, I thought. So I'll shut up about that, and I'll let you wait until the video review comes. And I'll talk more about it there.
Hell yeah!
Well, and then we'll, like you said, we'll get something up on the Maniac Cop also.
Yeah, which I'm looking forward to that one too. I started watching a little. I'm guilty of saying this. I started watching a little bit, but ended up passing out that night. So it's one of those things where, of course, I'm going to rewatch it and. Post a review on it. But
I passed out last night watching a really intense movie. So yeah,
nice.
So that happens. Called Kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
I had heard nothing but great things about it, and I saw that it was out on DVD, and just happened to be kind of browsing Netflix last night, and saw that it's streaming on Netflix. So I was fucking ecstatic about it, and I actually rewatched The Last Circus last night. Just to have it a little more fresh in my head, and then started watching Kidnapped afterwards, and ended up falling asleep. But so far, it was pretty intense. Really good, kind of like home invasion type of flick.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The only thing that killed it, I think the movie's from Spain, and the only drawback of that movie, and I hate that they did it, was the movie was dubbed, and it just I think dubbing is only good in like old school 70s Italian horror films, Mm-hmm. It just works for those. But for this one, it totally took away from the actors' performances. I don't know if the DVD release has like a subtitled version you can watch. I hope to God that it does. But the dubbing was just terrible. Not that it was like out of sync or anything like that, but the voiceover actors just sucked asshole.
Yeah.
And it just totally took away from the performances of the real actors that were in the movie. So that was unfortunate. But other than that, I mean, so far it was pretty intense. I still have to finish it, but so yeah, that was I passed out for that. So it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, one of the movies I kind of watched recently was this movie called Dirty Mary Crazy Larry.
Yeah.
It's a 60s or 70s grindhouse type of flick, and car chase, robbery, all that good stuff mixed into this movie.
Peter Fonda.
Starring Peter Fonda, one of the greats. Love Peter Fonda, and Suzanne George was also in it. And it was just a fun movie, man. It's the car chase scenes were great. Fonda, of course, was the driver and everything. And I'm trying to think, he was like an ex-race car driver, ended up robbing a grocery store, and Suzanne George is actually like, the town, turning tricks on the street, the town village bicycle type of thing.
Woohoo!
So, she took a liking to Peter Fonda and basically wanted to get out of town with him. And
who wouldn't take a liking to Peter Fonda?
Exactly. So they end up, him and his other partner, they end up, robbing this grocery store, taking the money, and there's your car chase scene for the rest of the movie. And it just, it doesn't disappoint, man. It's streaming on Netflix right now. I think they just re-released it on DVD because I know it was released before, but it was hell out of print. You had to pay a pretty penny for it, so I've been looking for it for a while now, and finally got to watch it. And I got to say, this is one of my favorite like car chase type of movies. And if you're I'm a huge Peter Fonda fan, so
hell yeah.
If you love Peter Fonda, definitely check this one out. So
awesome.
That one was pretty much the highlight of what I watched recently. One other one actually, theater-wise, was the new Harold and Kumar movie.
Oh, you went and saw that?
Yeah.
Nice.
My old lady took me to go see that, a few weeks ago now, and basically it's, kind of a Christmas Harold and Kumar movie. We love the first two, and basically, Harold and Kumar aren't friends anymore, and they end up, I think Santa sends some package to Kumar, and he brings it to Harold, and they start reuniting after they open it up, and it's a giant joint, and then the joint burns his tree down, and they need to hunt for a tree. So basically, they're looking for a Christmas tree, the whole movie, and it's just a fun movie, man. It's in 3D, and it's the type of movie where you have to see in 3D. Because
3D gimmicks in it?
Yeah, because they pretty much poking fun at 3D.
Oh, okay.
And the actual 3D in the movie is fucking great. So,
nice.
They're like blowing like smoke out into your face when they're, taking bong rips or whatever. But, I would recommend going to see it not sober. So, but it's definitely, if you're into Harold and Kumar, check it out, man. It's Bobby Lee's in it, Neil Patrick Harris makes his cameo.
Oh, yeah, in PH.
Where he pretends he's not gay, which is the funny thing.
Yeah.
Well, he pretends he's gay, then he pretends he's not gay. So it's kind of funny. So
I love the line, like I saw on the previews for it, that he's like with that chick or whatever. She's like, "I thought you were gay." He's like, "Yeah, gay for that pussy."
Yeah, exactly.
I love that line, "Gay for that pussy."
I think she ends up punching him out or something. Yeah.
He
basically tries to lure women back into his room just so he can, turn the tides on him.
That is some good sleaze right there.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy there for NPH. But I liked it.
Hell yeah.
What about you?
I got a couple that I've watched recently here. I had a couple written down, and then a couple that I know that I've watched, and I just cannot remember what they were now. But no, I watched flick called Bereavement, which I did a video review for. It's up on the YouTube page, and horrorhappyhour.com. I believe you can find it on there. I'm not sure. But it was pretty good. It's got Michael Biehn in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of a prequel to a film called Malevolence by the same director. Malevolence was more of just like a straight up slasher flick. This one kind of gives you the backstory of the killer. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty good, man. I enjoyed it. For all my thoughts on that, you can check out the video review.
Does he play the Kyle Reese part pretty well?
He plays the concerned uncle in the film. This girl, her parents die in a car accident, and she goes to live with her aunt and uncle out in the country, and so her uncle is Michael Biehn, and there's the obligatory shit where she meets a kid from the wrong side of the tracks, and her uncle doesn't approve of it, and there's a scene where they go out and they park the car somewhere, and they're kind of making out, and her uncle pulls up in his pickup and kind of pulls her out of the car, and he's like, "You stay away from my niece."
The old Uncle Buck
trick. You bum. Yeah. So that kind of shit, which, that was one of the drawbacks for me from that movie, but I guess it was a necessary evil.
You two-faced son of a jackal.
Yeah. So there was that one, and yeah, like I said, if you want to hear my full take on it, check out the review on our YouTube page.
Cool.
And there was another one called The Coffin, which was a Thai film, which I did a video review for, but I took it down because I was absolutely hammered when I did it. Yeah. And I watched it a couple days later, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's awful. So I took it down, and I'm gonna redo that one. But a very interesting Thai film that one was. It wasn't a straight up horror movie like a lot of Asian, a lot of your Asian ghost stories. You're kind of, getting a lot of the same shit. This one, it wasn't the case for this one. If I had to categorize it, I'd call it more of like a supernatural drama, almost. It was like a drama with some supernatural elements to it. It did have some scares and stuff, but
sure.
Pretty good movie. I mean, it was worth a watch, I thought. So I'll be redoing a video review for that one. And then one other one that I watched recently was I believe the second installment in the August Underground series, which was Mortem. And wow, yeah. What can you say about those, man? It was fucked up.
Take some cojones to watch those.
Yeah, and I still gotta watch Penance yet, the third installment. But yeah, Mortem was pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I won't say much more about it, but there's one scene towards the end there that is just, oh god, the whole movie just makes you feel dirty. Those movies just make you feel dirty.
Yeah.
Like you want to go take a shower after you watch them.
Great though.
And I love them for it. Yeah, I love them for that. I just sent I had an extra copy of the first August Underground, and I sent that out to my cousin's fiance, and I sent that out along with a copy of a Serbian film, which he wanted to show his bandmates, and so I sent him out a copy of August Underground also, and I got a text message maybe, I don't know, a week or so later, and he said, "Dude, is that August Underground movie real?" And so, just to fuck with him, I sent him a text back, and I said, "I don't know, it could be. I just found it laying on the side of a road somewhere." And he's like, "Are you serious?" And then I just let him stew in that for a little while.
Nice.
And then a little while later, he sends me a text. He's like, "Hey, I just watched it with commentary, so it can't be real, right?" I'm like, "No, dude, I was just fucking with you. Chill out." But yeah, so that's I mean, I know there was other movies that I watched, and I just
they have a bunch too, but I can't really think right now.
Yeah,
we can go on for hours about shit we watched recently.
Oh, of course. We don't want to do a whole show on that now.
No, maybe
got some other shit to talk about.
Yeah, we want. One thing I wanted to talk about was Black Friday. RiverMan kind of blew his load a little bit on some Blu-rays.
Yeah,
on Black Friday.
There you go.
On Amazon and some other places. I ended up picking up Total Recall and The Running Man for $5 at Target.
Oh, no.
For all you. Yeah, so you get to see Arnold's pretty face in Blu-ray.
To see him in that tight jumpsuit in Running Man.
I love Running Man, dude.
Running
it doesn't get
awesome.
The respect that it deserves, man.
Fucking sweet.
Killian!
Yeah, Richard Dawson, man.
Yeah.
Former host of Family Feud. In that bitch. Yeah.
First Sub-Zero, now Plane Zero.
Yeah, so, great flick.
Gotta love Running Man. Of course, Total Recall is probably one of our favorites.
Oh, yes.
If not our favorite Arnold film.
And fuck, you gotta love $5 Blu-rays for Christ's sakes. Jesus. Yeah. How great is that?
No, it's phenomenal. I picked those up. I also talked the old lady into picking up Land of the Dead for me when she was at Walmart at 2 in the morning. Or
Nice.
For $5, so picked that one up. I've been putting that one off because I'm not a huge Land of the Dead geek, but it's starting to grow back on me. That whole Big Daddy, of course, kind of kills it for me, but gotta love Leguizamo.
And Dennis Hopper.
So I got that one. Then I also picked up, to make it complete, I picked up Dawn and Day on Blu-ray.
Nice.
And I ended up popping those in for see the quality of them, and the quality looks phenomenal. Like, I can't even believe it, but
the Lush here needs to get himself a goddamn Blu-ray player.
Yeah, and you know what? I was actually thinking about on Black Friday. I was looking for Blu-ray players because I was going to buy you one. I was like,
oh yeah,
I was going to fucking buy you one.
Been awesome.
I didn't even think about it until recently. I was like, damn, I just need to buy him a fucking Blu-ray player. I can lend him all these Blu-rays. So.
Maybe one of these days I'll buckle and get a fucking PS3 and just
you can do that too.
Do that way. That way I can play games and shit too.
But it's I got those on the cheap too. So basically, whatever I can find on the cheap. I think the old lady also picked up Super 8, but I think we ended up wrapping that one up. We're gonna watch it on Christmas, so. I hear that looks phenomenal on Blu-ray, and the audio quality is amazing too.
I heard good things about that movie.
Yeah, I heard the movie's really good too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's kind of like a Stand By Me / science fiction type.
Yeah, like Stand By Me with aliens or something.
Yeah, which I heard great things. I wanted to actually see it in the theaters, but never ended up getting around to it. So
yeah, I heard it was phenomenal. My grandpa actually, he's a real old school sci-fi fan, like from the 50s and 60s, and he likes The Day the Earth Stood Still and This Island Earth and shit like that, which are really, they're goofy now when you watch them. At the time, my grandpa always is telling me stories of how scared shitless he was of some of these movies, when he was a kid back when he watched them. But so of course. Any movie nowadays, he's all about special effects. He loves the special effects. So he of course went and saw Super 8, and he fucking raved about it. And he said it made him. It felt like he was a kid going to see. He was all excited about it, and it was.
It does give you that feeling.
Yeah, kind of a nostalgic kind of which is cool. Kind
of an E.T. type of movie.
Yeah, right. And I've heard people say that J.J. Abrams is kind of going to be the new Spielberg now, which obviously Spielberg got behind Super 8,
he produced it, didn't he?
Yeah, okay. Right. So I don't know. We'll see what else comes from him.
I'm looking forward to watching it. That should be a good time. But
sure.
Let us know what you guys think about it too. If you guys have seen it, throw something out to us. And
while I'm thinking about a couple other DVDs I wanted to mention, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil is out on DVD now.
Okay.
Still have yet to see that one. God damn it. But I'm hoping, since it is a Magnet release, it seems like Magnet has been putting their stuff streaming on Netflix pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
I know they did with 13 Assassins and Hobo with a Shotgun and a few others. So I'm hoping that one hits Netflix here pretty soon streaming. Mm-hmm. I believe you can get it on DVD on there, but it should be. I would think it would be streaming here pretty soon.
Yeah.
So there's that one. That movie Kidnapped that I was talking about earlier, that's on DVD now. Mm-hmm. It's also streaming. Another one I saw on DVD was Chillerama, which is kind of like an anthology type of movie, kind of like Creepshow type of deal with a few different directors. One of them was Adam Green, who did the Hatchet films, and Frozen. And there was 3 other directors. I can't remember who they are now, but it looked pretty cool. A lot of genre actors.
It's a weird looking cover of the film.
It looks great. Yeah,
it's like an old school artists took time and actually
it looks really really cool.
It's kind of weird little cover too. So.
And it seems like a fun movie. So that one is on DVD and it's also streaming on Netflix now.
Is that?
Yes,
oh, okay.
Yes. So I plan on checking that one out very soon here.
Yeah.
So there was those, and then one other one. I believe it's more of like a dark comedy. It's called Lucky. Mm-hmm. It was actually shot in our neck of the woods here in Omaha.
Nice.
And stars Colin Hanks, and there was a few other well-known actors in it. I don't remember who now. But it's about this dude that wins the lottery, and this chick that he's been obsessed with, I think, for a long time, finally starts to pay him attention because she wants his money. Yeah. But little does she know that he's actually a serial killer. Mm-hmm. So the concept is really, really cool. And I'd really like to check it out. It sounds like a great setup for a good dark comedy. So that one is actually available on DVD now also. So check that out if you want to see some good Omaha scenery.
So I don't know about good Omaha scenery, but I want to see a bunch of corn, people walking backwards into a cornfield.
Oh, there's more to Nebraska than corn.
Yeah.
Like beef.
Beef, yeah. Got steaks and we got coal.
Omaha isn't too bad.
No, it's a city, man.
It's a city, It's ain't a bunch of country bumpkins up here.
Nah, but there's quite a few.
There's a lot.
You see a bunch of cowboys with their fucking boots and their fucking chew in the back pocket.
If you drive away from Omaha, if you drive west out of Omaha, you're going to start seeing a bunch of like anti-abortion billboards with dead fetuses on them and stuff. And I've seen them, believe me. Because I used to work a job where I did a lot of work, in small towns and stuff all throughout Nebraska. And yep, you see those.
Bunch of country bumpkins.
Yep. Country cousin fuckers.
Mm-hmm. I reckon we get on to the next topic, though.
I reckon we should. I don't know. Should we just go ahead and take a little break here?
Yeah, let's take a break. And
maybe we'll come back with something. I don't know. Maybe like a major announcement.
Yeah, I think we got a major announcement maybe a little bit later or maybe soon. Or I don't know.
At some point. Keep listening.
All right. You're listening to Behind the Mask.
Yeah.
Dirty Mary, crazy Larry, you gotta keep on moving, no time to tarry.
Peter Fonda and Susan George are Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry.
Anytime you want out, you just holler.
Hold on, baby. Law's gonna get you if you don't look out. At least they're gonna try. Hey, hold it! Coming at you down every road, coming at you in the sky.
I want him stopped. Stop how? Crash right into him.
You better run now, you better move. In fact, you better fly. Nobody gets away with things smacking law and order die. Dirty Mary, crazy Larry, right on.
Gonna eat your lunch, you long head. You remember Robert Mitchum in Thunder Road? I'm gonna powder his face.
Dirty Mary, I think someone's knocking on the door. Crazy Larry,
He wants to play.
you gotta keep on moving. No time to tarry.
Peter Fonda and Susan George are Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. They don't call them that for nothing.
Hey, guys. Welcome back.
Hey, what's going on, people?
What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Should we start this segment out with our little announcement?
Yeah, let's do it. Basically, one of the reasons why we've been MIA for the past month or so is we've been working out, trying to get a website up for you guys. We wanted, of course, to have our podcast up there. We wanted to have reviews, interviews, as much stuff as we can up there. We launched the site. It's still a work in progress.
It's still being worked on, but there is content up there. So
it's BehindTheMaskPresents.com.
Behind the Mask Presents.
Behind the Mask Presents. Sounds like Roger and Ebert Presents.com.
Or like Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Exactly. We don't know what the Presents stands for, but the Presents was the only thing that really fit.
We're presenting you with video reviews and fucking podcasts and fucking interviews and fucking all kinds of shit. Fucking and some fucking. There might be some fucking on there. You never know.
Hey, you never know.
You never know with these guys.
You never know.
You never know.
It's like Arnold would say. But we're gonna be coming out with new content on there. We're still we're gonna be adding stuff pretty frequently. I mean,
yes,
we might be adding, deleting, so bear with us here. We're trying to get with our web guy and try to get everything worked out still. And
the big, I think the big thing that we're going to kick it off with, which it could be up by the time you guys hear the show, is our interview with the Soska sisters, Sylvia and Jen, who did Dead Hooker in a Trunk, and Goose's interview with Daniel Tidwell, YouTube sensation Daniel Tidwell.
Oh, he's a hell of a musician.
Amazing guitar player.
Yeah, he plays some great video game music, and he just, I don't know, he's a lot of cool shit out there. So check that out once we get it up, of course.
Yeah, we're going to. I think that'll be like the official, kind of kickoff of the website once we get those interviews up, because. Both really, really great interviews, man.
Oh, God, the Soska sisters.
Wow. Oh, they're great. I really regret that it's taken so long for us to get this put up. We've been waiting for the website to get up and running, because we did want to make it a big deal and kick the website off with their interview, because it was such a great interview. I can't wait for you guys to hear it, because we really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, and those chicks, I mean, They don't hold back. So.
No, they're just as dirty as we are.
Yeah.
Cuss just as much.
Oh, yeah. You're not your typical broad.
They got dirty pirate hooker mouths.
That's right.
Yeah. my twin dirty pirate hookers. I love them. Great ladies, man.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that. So, yeah, definitely be sure to check out BehindTheMaskPresents.com. That's where you're going to be able to find all of our shit here, as time goes on. As we said, it's still being worked on, but, go there and check it out, from time to time and see what new is on there. And we're going to be getting as much new stuff up there as we can and as quick as we can, so.
Yeah, we're basically now trying all the archive, episodes.
Yeah, all the shows, yep.
All the shows, and we're linked up to our Facebook page on there, so... if you haven't already, I mean, go like the Facebook page, and our YouTube page is up there as well. So you're going to be seeing some reviews up there, and maybe a few written reviews for you too.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna, I mean, as time goes on, there's going to be just all kinds of different shit. I want to talk to different people about different things, and so we'll have a good variety for you.
And the thing about the website is it's just going to open up so many doors. Like, there's so many interviews that I want, but I mean, it's just too hard if you don't have a website.
Website?
A website launched.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this opens up a few doors for us.
And shit, I mean, we've had great interviews so far, so...
I agree.
Hopefully this website will just make us, go over and above,
Exactly.
I absolutely love the interviews that we've done so far. And, yeah. Hopefully this will just, keep getting us, good interviews like what we've had,
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
No, I agree.
So that's that. That's our announcement.
Yeah.
What else did you want to talk about this segment?
Oof.
I know there was something.
Was there any movies to clear a room or any?
Oh yeah, one of our from goddamn, the first episode or two. One of the segments that we did quite a while back. We did a movies to clear a room segment. I think the one that we did before we talked about August Underground, or we mentioned it, and for this one. I want to mention the Vomit Gore trilogy from Lucifer Valentine.
The funny thing is, before you talk about it, Lush, you got this in the mail from Netflix, I think, on a DVD.
The first one, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, is the first installment.
Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. You brought this thing over, and you're like, dude, you got to check this movie out. I was like, nah, okay. Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. When I
brought it, I'm going to stop you. When I brought it over, I hadn't even watched the trailer yet.
Oh shit! Okay,
so, because I didn't want to put it on at my house because the kids were up and everything, so I brought it over here, and I was like, hey, let's at least check out the trailer for this. Yeah. So that we watched the trailer, and
watched the trailer. I made sure the old lady was in the other room for this one, and this thing just made me want to fucking vomit and slaughter myself, dude. This thing's disgusting. I never even seen the movie, but he showed me the trailer. I was like, take this shit out of my house, that sort of thing. There's just certain things that I can't, that make me sick just watching. So go on.
Well, no, they're very, it's very disgusting. It's the title of the first, you kind of get the idea. It's called Slaughtered Vomit Dolls. Mm-hmm. And it's really, the film's really abstract, it's, well, not real, I guess kind of abstract, but it just, it doesn't follow like a linear plot. It's kind of all over the place and really, I guess, avant-garde, I guess you could call it. But it's, definitely strange, very gross out, type of stuff. People, like, there's one scene in Slaughtered Vomit Dolls where a guy pukes into a beer mug, drinks it, and then pukes it back up, and then drinks it again. Oh. And these are like, I guess these people that are in the film are like, this is for real what they're into. Like they're like vomit fetish people.
Bunch of sick fucks, you ask me.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that one. The second, there's 3 films in the series actually. The second film, which I haven't watched it yet. I do have it on DVD. I haven't watched it yet. It's called Regurgitated Sacrifice. And kind of more of the same, but this one looks a lot more stylized. I think there's, depictions of somebody in hell, which hell is kind of like all white backgrounds and just like gore and vomit and just all kinds of nastiness. So there's, I don't know, all kinds of stuff going on with that. I haven't watched it yet, like I said, but there's all that. And then the third one, I don't have that one. And I don't remember the name of it now. Something with vomit or gore or something. I don't know. But, if you're looking to be, like, grossed out or shocked, or if you want a good, like, gross out movie to throw on, like, if you're having a party and there's people that are, have strong stomachs and, kind of just want to see something fucked up, throw one of those on and see if it does clear the room, because it very well could, and that's why I, picked that one for our movies to clear her room segment.
Yeah, go eat a China buffet and watch that fucking movie.
Good luck to you, people. Yeah. So that's all I got for that segment.
That's your movie. We were also talking. I kind of wanted to throw out your number one holiday. This can be like Thanksgiving, Christmas. It doesn't have to be horror. Just that one movie you have to watch this time of season. Yeah. Because, there's so many that I love, but, I have a very select few that I, can't go without.
Sure.
And which one would that be for you?
Well, for me, I know, like, our family, we didn't do it this year, unfortunately, but in years past, at Thanksgiving, we've watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on Thanksgiving to like kind of get us geared up for Christmas or whatever. I don't know why we watch it on Thanksgiving, but it's just kind of become like a thing, which I was kind of bummed out we didn't do it this year. But yeah, that's one that, I love that movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Christmas Vacation's great. And it always, just kind of gets us in the mood, for, the whole season, really, So that's one of them for me. But you?
I actually have 2: Thanksgiving is always Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love John Candy.
Fantastic.
And John Hughes is one of my favorites.
Yep.
And the second one would also be a Hughes film, my Christmas film, which would be Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Which is also, I mean, the whole nostalgia. Ever since I was a kid, I shit you not, I could recite like the first 45 minutes of the movie. Mm-hmm. Just, because I've seen it so many times when I was a kid. Like,
we've done it in conversation.
Yeah, I used to drive my fucking mom and my brother nuts because I am a huge Home Alone junkie, and I still am to this day.
Hell yeah.
So those have to be my two favorite, as much as I love Christmas Vacation, Jingle All the Way, those type of movies. Mm-hmm. It holds that place in my heart with fucking Macaulay Culkin and Daniel Stern, which is one of my favorites. I love Daniel Stern. He's hilarious.
Suck brick, kid!
Yeah. Where'd he go? Maybe he committed suicide.
Yeah, great movies, man.
So, yeah, I could just go on forever reciting quotes from Home Alone, which I used to at one of my old jobs, and one of my buddies, me and him, just went back and forth with Home Alone lines because we were huge Home Alone junkies. But, yeah, those are my two. And, of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Can't go wrong with that one either. I mean, it's the perfect road movie, Yeah. So,
and of course, we got to mention A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story, yeah.
I mean, they play it for 48 hours, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Even before they started doing that, I mean, I've been watching that movie since I'm fucking 4 or 5 years old, So, so that's definitely one of the ones that I always make it a point to watch it at least once. You know?
And you know what? I've seen it so many times, I can't make it through anymore. I do like it. I mean,
man, I never get tired of it.
There's certain scenes that I do love and I will watch, but there's other scenes that I'm just like, I just turn it after that part.
Yeah. Anymore, like now, being that I have kids and stuff now. Yeah. Darren McGavin as the father.
You know what? That's what I was going to say. He's hilarious.
Man, he kills me because I totally. I feel it.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, exactly. Yeah.
No, I
get it now. Whereas before when I was younger, I was like, it was funny, but I didn't. Now I understand it now. His character being the father and all that stuff. I get it now. So that's another one of my favorites for sure. I mean, kind of a cliched favorite, but
that's all right. I mean, this the podcast is not just based around horror. I mean, we got to jump into other things too.
Yeah.
But
that and Black Christmas. That's always
good. Black Christmas.
The original Black Christmas.
What? Fuck the original, dude. I like the remake.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Blow yourself. No, the original Black Christmas was actually directed by the same guy that did A Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Bob Clark.
Bob Clark, yeah.
Little trivia fact for you there, if you didn't know. So,
probably.
But great holiday favorites, man. You know.
And I'm sure we'll be talking about more holiday favorites on the next episode.
Definitely, yeah.
Hopefully a Christmas episode or
Christmas
something.
episode, yeah.
And maybe not just based around horror. We don't know yet. We're just,
we're all over the place.
We're all over the map.
If you don't know that yet,
which I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, we need to branch out a little bit. I mean, we're not gonna jump off the fucking map, but
right.
We're gonna have a few things out that are different. So
definitely.
But yeah. Well, what else do you want to talk about? Anything?
I don't know. I say we take a little break and then maybe jump into the review.
Sweet, man.
Get into the Last Circus.
All right, this is RiverMan
and the Lush,
and you're listening to Behind the Mask.
Yeah, baby.
Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back.
What's up?
This is our review portion of the show.
Yes, sir. Talk a little bit about the Last Circus.
Last Circus, yeah.
A film that actually did really well, I believe, on the festival circuit this past year. And that's kind of where I heard about it. I heard about it early this year. And I believe I think I posted a trailer for it once or twice.
That's what I was going to say.
On the Behind the Mask Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And it just always looked like a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then I think I want to say a week or two ago, I ended up coming across it on Netflix, and I called up Lush. I was like, yeah, Lush, we're doing this. Regardless if it sucks or not, we might as well just review it. So
definitely, and I was all for it, man. Yeah, I don't know. There was just a lot about the movie that really intrigued me, and I'm glad, I think we talked about earlier on the show, Magnet has been really, really good about getting their stuff streaming on Netflix pretty damn quick.
You can't go wrong with them either. I mean,
oh man, they just put out great stuff. I mean, they're like Synapse. I mean, it's just good stuff, like time after time with them. They're
of course, Hobo's on the top of the list.
Oh yeah, I mean those guys. They're picking winners like nonstop.
Oh, they definitely know what they're doing. And
if it was the horse races, they'd be cleaning up.
Oh yeah,
they're just picking winners left and right.
For the indies, you got to go with Magnet. Just pick up, indie.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
Okay, sorry, short round. Indie. But pick up any indie Magnet film, and you're pretty much, guaranteed it's going to be halfway decent.
Definitely. That and like IFC Midnight's pretty
IFC
good.
Midnight,
or just IFC in general. Which IFC Midnight, I believe, is putting out Dead Hooker in a Trunk. January, I believe.
Didn't they also put out Human Centipede 2? Or
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
And the first one.
Of course, yeah.
So, IFC, Magnet, fucking Synapse. I mean, you're looking at good stuff there for sure.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a few others that we could get into, but we'll save that. Like Blue Underground and...
Yeah. I mean, there's some
folks like them. They focus on more of the older stuff, but...
Camp Motion, I always have a...
Camp Motion, oh man. Love those guys. But, anyway, back to The Last Circus.
Yeah.
Directed by Álex de la Iglesia, starring Carlos Areces, Antonio de la Torre, and Carolina
Bang. Yeah.
I don't know if it's Bong or Bang.
Well, yeah. Let's just say Bang, because she's banging hot in this movie.
I would like to bang her. I hope you're listening, Carolina. Or, I guess it'd be Carolina.
Sweet Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina.
Yeah. Carolina.
Among many others. There's a pretty good sized cast in this. But those are the three, main characters in the film. And, God, they all did great. This film, it starts out in 1937 in Spain. And it's kind of set against the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War, which was going on at the time. And... I really dig these. A lot of these Spanish films, they're kind of doing this thing where it's like this whole. It's a kind of a. I don't know. This one I can't call it a straight up horror film.
No,
but it's like
they're dark, gritty type of.
Yeah, and it's like a film like Pan's Labyrinth, where it's set among war and like social unrest and upheaval and stuff like that. And
opening battle scene I thought was pretty sweet.
It was awesome, yeah. Like, fucking clown coming out in like a little dress and shit.
Yeah.
And hacking people up with a machete and stuff. And even like the soldier that rounds them up, in the very beginning.
Yeah.
It opens up on this circus where these clowns are entertaining these children.
Yeah.
And you start hearing these explosions and stuff, and these soldiers come in and they say, any man that's, able, you're joining us, you're gonna fight, let's go. And so there's these guys in their clown suits,
basically. Isn't it pretty much a death wish because they know they're not gonna win this battle?
Kinda, yeah. They're
rounding
resisting
people up.
They're resisting, and so they're rounding up whoever they can. And at one point, one of the clowns, who actually ends up being kind of a pivotal character in the movie, he asks this lead soldier, he says, can I change my clothes? And the soldier says no, and he puts his red nose on him, and he said, dressed like that, you're going to scare the shit out of the other soldiers,
Exactly.
So it was, great opening. Yeah, he comes out fucking blasting with that machete, and he fucking tears some shit up. And from there, we go into the opening credit sequence.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
It's got a lot of, like, political, religious, and, like, pop culture imagery in there.
I think it's all Cannibal Holocaust, like the
impalement scene. Yeah. And there's, like, there was a snapshot of, like, Anton LaVey, and then, like, the... who was it? Like the Phantom of the Opera or something, and like the Wolfman. I don't know. There was all kinds of shit. But that just kind of it definitely fits with the film, I think.
Yeah.
And it reminded me. I mean, this whole film it reminded me of like it's not as metaphoric as like Romero's Dead films. Because he kind of used that as like a metaphor for like like Vietnam and all the shit that was going on at the time. This one, I mean, they use a lot of that shit, and it's all factual stuff, that was going on at the time that this movie was set in. So, basically, our main characters, Javier, begins, in the beginning, he's, a little boy, and his father is the clown in the dress or whatever, who has to go fight. And his father ends up getting captured by the opposing side. And so cut to, a couple of years later, he goes...
it's about 10, 15 years.
Well, not quite yet.
Okay.
Right after his father gets captured, they cut to a couple years later. He's still a kid,
Yeah, okay.
And he goes to visit his father in this, like, POW, prison camp or whatever. And so he goes to talk to him, and he's talking to his father about, what he wants to do. And his father tells, they're talking about being a clown, because that's like their family lineage or whatever is being clowns. Which,
happy clowns and sad clowns.
Yeah, that kind of, like, sure. I guess that is what it is. But
I think his father was a happy clown, wasn't he?
He was a happy clown, yeah. I think. Yeah, his father was a happy clown.
Okay.
And so he goes to visit him, and he says, he wants to be a happy clown to make the children laugh.
Yeah.
And his father says no. Yeah. He said, you haven't had a happy life, so you need to be a sad clown because of your sad life. And but he says there is one way you can find happiness, and that is in revenge, which was, terrible advice to give your kid, but I really liked it in the film.
Yeah.
And so he does actually try. I don't know if there's an amount of time in between when he tells him that and when Javier actually does it, but he goes into those mines or whatever.
Tries to break him out.
Yeah, he tries to break his dad out, and he lights off some dynamite and shit, blows some shit up, and ultimately, it doesn't turn out how he wants. I don't want to be a spoiler guy and give a bunch of stuff away, but
he ends up taking out the general, not killing him, but
there's this. I don't know if he's a general. I guess probably a general or something.
Took his right eye.
Loses his eye, yep. Yeah. And so then after that, he this general tries to grab him, and Javier takes off. And then after that, we cut ahead to 1973.
Yeah. Where
Javier's trying out for a circus. And he's going to be a sad clown. And, when he tries out for that, he's kind of meeting the whole, circus crew, all these different people, which the guy on the fucking, the Daredevil guy on the bike.
Yeah.
That guy killed me.
Oh, yeah.
He's just, he pops up a few times throughout the movie, and it was just fucking hilarious. Like, he could, my turbo needs to be adjusted.
Yeah.
And he's always crashing into walls and shit.
I wanted to see the bearded lady.
Yeah, so he meets all the circus folk. He gets knocked down by an elephant who is possibly jealous of him at one point.
That elephant wants its trainer's nuts.
Yeah.
I guess it ended up killing, the trainer's wife?
The trainer's wife, because
he's jealous
of any woman that is with the trainer, yeah. Which is a funny little kind of side thing in the movie.
Yeah.
So he gets knocked down by this elephant, and he looks up, and he sees Natalia, who's like I believe they call it like ribbon dancing.
Trapeze?
Well, no. Trapeze is like where they swing and shit, like on the handlebar type of deals.
Yeah.
She's like a ribbon dancer or something. They got those long, like thick strands of ribbon that they like twirl themselves up in, and she's like a ribbon dancer. And so he looks up, and the sun's right behind her, so she just looks glorious, and he's like, oh my god, who is this? And she, of course, is the boss's girl, Sergio, who is the head clown. At the circus, and
Javier is pretty much the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, he's kind of a man child, sort of. Yeah,
the chubby cheeks, and everything, and
kind of just a sad guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he sees her and he's just like enthralled, with this woman. And he's like, "Oh my god, who is this?" And somebody kind of tells him, who she is, and so from there he goes and he talks to her man, Sergio, who's the head clown and a bit of a drunk, let's say. And he has a little bit of like an interview with him. And, to hopefully to get the job. And,
he asks him why he wants to be a clown.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know why I want to be a clown.
Is it family or, what?
And then he ends up saying revenge or whatever, and that's what... put him over the top, right?
Sergio said, or Javier asked Sergio, "Why are you a clown?"
Yeah,
and Sergio says, "If I wasn't a clown, I'd be a murderer."
Yeah.
And Javier says, "Me too."
Yeah.
So then he's like, "Okay, you start tomorrow."
Yeah.
And so he gives him the job, which is like the strangest job interview ever.
Oh yeah. I wish that worked for me.
I know, yeah. Like I if I wasn't doing this, I'd kill people. Okay, you got the job. You start tomorrow. Oh, okay, cool.
Patrick Bateman-esque.
Yeah. I want to kill you and play in your blood. Okay, you start tomorrow. So yeah, he gets the job that night. The circus folk go out and they're all having drinks, eating, blah blah blah. And this is kind of where Javier gets his first taste of what Sergio's really like after he's been drinking. Yeah. He's telling this joke, and Javier doesn't really get it and questions it.
The joke is fucking hilarious, by the way.
It was pretty funny.
They're talking about like slamming it. Well, I mean, it's sad to say.
Yeah, let's not give it away.
Okay.
Let's let people see it.
Okay. I mean, it's a fucked up joke.
Pretty fucked up joke. Yeah, definitely. But Javier doesn't get it. And
no. Well, he says he doesn't get it. He's a fucking idiot.
He's complete. Yeah, he just kind of sits there. And side note, Javier, Carlos Arasis or whatever.
Yeah.
Totally looks like, who Judah Friedlander is?
That's who I was thinking.
Totally. If they, God forbid, if they do an American remake of this film, they're going to get Judah Friedlander because he looks exactly like him.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too, man.
So anyway, it turns into this whole big thing after he doesn't get the joke because everybody else kind of kisses Sergio's ass and laughs at all his fucking jokes and shit. And so then Javier doesn't get it, and Natalia actually kind of stands up for him. She's like, "Okay, well, what about this?" And then Sergio kind of goes all apeshit on her. Yeah, beats the crap out of her. And they all just leave and just leave her laying there in this restaurant. Yeah. And Javier runs back and tries to help her. And, they get to talking a little bit. I think right here is where kind of Javier's obsession is like born, with Natalia or whatever. And she kind of she's like the fucking great temptress, or something like that.
Yeah, dude, he just wants to fucking part.
He gets sucked in,
Wants to part the Red Sea or something.
Yeah, definitely.
He's very, I don't know. He's obsessed with this girl.
Yeah, and Sergio ends up coming back to this little diner, and there's some shit that goes on I won't say. But skip ahead a little bit. After their first official performance, Javier and Sergio, it's an outstanding success or whatever, and Natalia asks him to take her to dinner so they can get to know each other better. And he's a little apprehensive, but he says, okay. And they get back, and he ends up getting a little bit of a warning from Sergio, and I don't know.
Was this the warning at the carnival, or was this...
No, this is before when he's talking about how Sergio is deeply in love with Natalia, and he would do anything for her, and blah blah blah. Yeah. And Javier's just like, oh no, I never saw her. No, I don't know what you're talking about. So after that, she actually convinces him to take her out again. Yeah. And at this point, when he takes her out, they go to this like fair or something, and he confesses his feelings to her. Yeah. And they end up having like a great time, and then Sergio finds them, and that's when he sees them at the carnival. Yeah. And what Sergio does to Javier is pretty fucked up.
That is funnier than shit.
But yeah, I was going to say it's really creative and actually kind of funny, but sad for Javier, of course. And it lands him in the hospital. And Natalia ultimately says that, she can't see him again after that. And one thing I do want to make a note of, too, all throughout the film, like in the very beginning, like I said, it starts out during the Spanish Civil War. And all throughout they're like, there'll be a TV on in the background, and there'll be like, kind of
broadcast.
Like the nightly news going on or something like that. And one of the things they talk about is El Lute. And it's actually Eleuterio Sanchez, who was like at that time, Spain's most wanted criminal. And he was like a legendary outlaw. He like escaped from prison several times. He actually got arrested when he was like, I think 16 for stealing hens and thrown into prison. And, he actually, while he was in prison, he learned, he was illiterate when he went in, and then he learned to read. He got his law degree.
Wow.
And
Prison's he in? Jesus.
I know. He became a writer.
Wow.
And he actually he has written over like 5 books, I think. And he actually ended up getting pardoned in 1981. So that was just one thing. They throw real stuff in there, which is great. I really loved it.
I did. I agree.
So that was one thing that, these are things that go on throughout the movie. And so, yeah, after Sergio gets his little thing at the fair there, or Javier gets, found out by Sergio, he gets his little thing at the fair, which I won't say what it is. You'll just have to see it for yourselves.
Picture step by step, and what's his name? It's not JT, is it?
JT was in Step by Step.
The intro, Step by Step with JT.
Yeah, where he's at the fair,
Where he's at the fair.
Yeah, okay. That'll give you an idea. If you can get the reference, you'll know.
You're a step-by-step fan like I am.
So, ultimately, Natalia, after this whole thing goes down, she says they shouldn't see each other anymore, because it'll be just bad for both of them. And then while Javier's in the hospital, he has this like beautiful fucking dream sequence. The dream sequence was fucking awesome, and it gives you some kind of foreshadowing
of what's going to happen at the
end. To the end, yeah. Which, oh man, it's just so great. And this dream, it prompts Javier to go back to the circus for Natalia, and he gets there and he sees Natalia and Sergio fucking. And then he just goes apeshit, and he fucking wails on Sergio, and damn near kills him.
Oh God, dude, they fuck like jackrabbits. Dude.
Yeah, and there's that whole with her. The reason I said like the Great Temptress earlier, she's got that whole like tongue thing going on.
Yeah, she likes.
She's always like, and it's. I just did it. Not that our listeners can see it, but.
She likes her hair pulled. Let's just say that.
Yeah, she's into the rough stuff.
Yeah.
So he about half kills Sergio, which you think. You don't find out. You think he killed him, and Javier just takes off.
That sequence was awesome. Let me just say.
Oh, it was great. He escapes, and after he takes off, he kind of turns into like Sasquatch. Mm-hmm. He like runs off into the woods, and he's naked.
Yeah.
And
see a schlong. Well, not a schlong. It's like a little nub.
His button.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to make a special mention of that, like the brave and fucking courageous performance by Carlos Araces.
I was in the pool.
Yeah. He fucking just let it all hang out.
Shit, if I was getting paid like that, I would too.
Yeah, I hope he got paid.
No, I'm sure he got getting paid more than I'm getting paid.
Yeah, for sure. But very, very courageous performance by him, man. Mm-hmm. As a bigger dude like that, to run around naked like that, that was good for him.
It's pretty hilarious.
Good for him. So after he runs off into the woods and. We kind of skip ahead a little bit, and Natalia and the ringmaster are kind of ringmaster of the circus. Now that Sergio and Javier are gone, they're trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do now. Now that the circus is flopped because the ringmaster, he's like in debt and he's got nothing going for him, and so they're kind of trying to figure out what to do, and then we just kind of cut back and forth, between Javier and Natalia and things like that. And, while Javier's living in the woods, he's munching on deers and stuff. And at one point, he's attacked by a boar, wild boar, but he's saved by two hunters, one of which is a colonel. And the colonel turns out to be somebody fairly, significant, significant. So I won't give any of that away. And ultimately, from that, Javier's kind of turned into a hunting dog. Meanwhile, Natalia and the ringmaster, they open up like this club with all their other circus folk. And cracked me up because it's called Kojak's. And they got pictures of Telly Savalas all over the walls and stuff. It's kind of like a burlesque joint. Yeah. And she can still utilize some of her ribbon dancing skills, and all the horny fat men there are just amazed by what she can do. And
it's pretty lame burlesque club, let's just say that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Natalia's pretty amazing.
Pretty PG, though.
Yeah, it was pretty PG. Yeah, burlesque, I mean, there's no...
Yeah, but...
Never any nudity in burlesque.
At least show a little cleave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But we see, at this burlesque club, we see somebody sitting in the shadows. And you're like, oh shit, is that who I think it is? And if you got any kind of a brain in your head, you know who it is.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads, that whole thing kind of leads into the whole climax of the film. I might just stop there as far as the plot, because I want it to, I want people to go into it fairly fresh. I've been given some of the points and stuff, but. There is one part a little bit past that where there's, another one of those times where they use factual stuff in the film. It's the assassination attempt of Carrero Blanco in 1973. And, it was a bomb, under the street. The car exploded. And when you see this car flip up on top of a building... Don't think, oh, that's bullshit, because that really happened. That is legit. The car fucking exploded, and it was sent up on top of a monastery. So that shit is real.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't look real, but...
No, I mean, well, yeah, no. It really happened. Back in 1973, it really happened. Yeah. In the film, it's, obviously done digitally and, things like that, but yeah, no, that's another use of real history in this film.
It's like a modern day Forrest Gump.
Yeah, really.
It must be hard being brothers.
Really, it kind of is like that. They use real history and they build their story around that stuff. Which is really cool, and I really dug that.
I agree.
So, yeah, and then I mean. So, yeah, I just wanted to make a quick mention of that. And then, the whole thing, it really kind of comes full circle at the end.
Yeah.
It really does. So, yeah, that's pretty much the movie. It really kind of almost ends where it begins, sort of.
But the ending is great. I love the ending.
Oh, God. This film, the way I would sum it up, it's a beautiful, dark tragedy, really, of a sad clown. Absolutely, I absolutely love this film. Absolutely loved it. It's probably one of my favorite of the past year.
Really?
Yes, I liked it that much.
Wow.
Huh. I really, really enjoyed it.
So what is that a 10 on the 10 out of 10 on the Lush scale, or is that a 9 out of 10? Or
I'm going to give it a 10, man. Oof. I'm going to give it a 10. I enjoyed it that much. I really, really liked it. That's just my opinion. But like I said, it's, beautiful, dark, tragedy. The ending just blew me away. The movie was stuck in my head for a few days after I saw it. Yeah. I couldn't stop thinking about Javier and Natalia, it just blew me away. The performances were fucking fantastic from the 3 leads, especially Carlos, who played Javier. He was great. Everything about the film, I mean, the cinematography, the writing, everything about it, it was just phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah, and I would probably have to say, I mean, I really enjoyed the movie, first of all. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't know what I was getting into going into this movie. Like, I didn't know if it was a horror movie or it was a thriller or drama. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of goofy in ways, and it's also kind of,
Well, there are definitely, humorous.
Yeah, it's really hard to sum this movie up.
Yeah.
I would have to give it. I mean, of course, it's all subtitled. Let's just say that Spanish. I don't know if we covered that in the beginning.
Right.
So you're gonna be looking at subtitles. I have no problem with that. I watch subtitled movies all the time. Mm-hmm. A lot of Japanese movies. I would probably give this my scale 7 out of 10.
Oh,
which is really good for me. I really enjoyed the movie. There's certain things like I thought it could be a little bit more. I mean, it was brutal in parts, but I thought it could be a little bit more, especially in the war. The beginning scenes with the soldiers and everything, which it was brutal. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'm always looking for more. Just call me.
I thought it was just. I mean, the amount of battle scene that they had in it. I thought it was just brutal enough for that. Amount of time that they had in a battle scene.
Yeah.
Like, if the battle scenes had gone longer, then I'd be like, okay, let's pick it up, give me more brutality. But for that amount of time that they had, focusing on the battle stuff, I thought it was just brutal enough.
And let me just say, there's one scene in the movie that I love. I'm not going to give it away. It's has to do with the lead character, Javier, and basically turning himself into a clown physically.
Oh, God.
And that part
phenomenal.
I really love that part.
He goes all Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger
Joker on him.
And just that part, I mean, after I saw that, I was like, okay, I like where this is going. I think if we would have got a little bit more into that, I mean, maybe if he was a little crazier with, maybe, let's just say being more of a murder type of guy. I mean, you can't really, it's hard to describe this guy because he's just, so off the wall.
Yeah. But he was like crazy and homicidal. At the same time, he was sad and didn't want to, I don't know.
Didn't want to harm. It's really hard to explain, but.
That's one of the great things that I loved about Carlos, playing that part. He played it brilliantly, I thought.
And it's really hard to tell. The thing I did like about it, it's really hard to tell who you should like in this movie. Mm-hmm. You should like the girl. Oh, yeah. You should like Carlos. You should like Javier. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're jumping on each person's bandwagon. Okay, this is the, the protagonist or the antagonist, or you really can't tell until the end of the movie. Yeah. And even then, you're just like, well, who was it? I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
But, which kind of gave a little bit away there, but sorry. But, I would give it 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and for, this type of film, I don't know. That's just what I think. I'm very, 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 very picky when it comes to certain films, and this one is, I would highly recommend it, though.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you have Netflix, it's streaming on there, so, I mean, really, what do you got to lose?
Exactly.
Check it out. I mean, definitely worth a watch. I highly recommend it. I'll probably end up purchasing this one.
Yeah.
Because I just fucking loved it. I really
Go in with a sober mind. Use subtitles. I mean, just give you a heads up.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I say that, because every subtitle movie you should go in with a sober mind, because reading does it to you. But, I mean, it's it's not that fast. I mean, the beginning's kind of fast with the subtitles, but it just flows. I mean, you really don't even need to know the dialogue towards the end because you can just tell by the actions and everything.
And this, it's almost like watching a play
exactly.
or something.
No,
really,
I agree.
It really is.
And the climax is phenomenal.
Oh my god, such a great movie. And Álex de la Iglesia, I mean, he's done a few other movies that I really liked. He did a film called The Day of the Beast, which was a very strange movie.
I haven't seen that one. I need to check that out.
Really weird. And then another film that I really, really enjoyed, more of a supernatural kind of ghost story, but there was a little bit of a twist to it, a movie called The Baby's Room.
Okay.
Which I think I might have mentioned on one of our shows before. But I really, really enjoyed that movie too. And then he did one more recently called The Oxford Murders, which I think was in English.
Okay.
And it had our future maniac in it, Elijah Wood.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can stomach that. But no, I heard The Oxford Murders was supposed to be a fairly decent flick. And Álex de la Iglesia did that too. So. So yeah, definitely check into this guy. He's a very, very talented director.
I agree.
He's got some vision for sure. So definitely, check into this guy. He's got a bunch of other movies too that we're not mentioning, but
yeah, like we said, I mean, you can't really call this a horror movie. It's
it's not straight up horror at all. There are horror elements to it, maybe, but not even a ton of those. It's just. I don't know. There's a lot of just different stuff going on in this movie, and I highly recommend it. I say definitely check it out.
Yeah, I would recommend it also.
I don't think you'll be sorry if you can handle subtitles. I think you'll love it.
Yeah.
So.
But that'll pretty much wrap it up.
Yeah,
so.
I hope I didn't get too long-winded there with the...
no, man, it was great.
Kind of breaking down the movie. I tried to keep it, kind of hitting the high points. And
it's always good to throw, like a Spanish movie or something, subtitle or something different in there, in the review segment. Because usually review, like horror exploitation, but I don't even know how to classify this. Like you're saying, it could be a play or it could be a drama. It could be who knows.
It's got so many different elements to it. Like there's no real way to classify. I don't know. On like IMDb, I know they have it like comedy / horror.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of comedy, there's a little bit of horror, but there's a lot more to it than that. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that I loved about it is because there's so many different elements to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pulling you in all these different directions, and it's phenomenal. Watch it.
Check it out, guys. But that'll wrap it up here for this segment.
That is the review.
And you're listening to Behind the Mask.
Yeah, bitch.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Here with the Goose.
That's right, the artist formerly known.
Hey, that's what we talked about in an earlier segment.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? That's crazy.
Yeah, we kind of referenced you as a symbol or a cock symbol, or I don't know. We're just ranting pretty much for 10 minutes. So
you know what? We all go through identity crisis, and from a lot of people, it's usually in their teen years, going through the motions of discovering, oneself, and mine just happened to come in my quarter life. So, bottom line is, it's just one of those things where you get sucked into a name, and it's like, oh my god, and it gets stuck on you, and I just didn't like it. I'm like, hey, do I want that written on my tombstone? A dog's dick? No. I mean, there's really no crazy method behind it, no deep thought put into it. It's just, hey, I don't want a dog's hard-on dick on my tombstone. I don't want to tell it to my grandkids.
Okay, that'll work.
Simple as that, Right. And which Goose is short for Goose Flesh. It's been my sort of online handle for many years, and which you guys don't have to call me Goose Flesh. That's a little over the top. You can if you want, but Goose just flows a little bit. Pretty well. So
I like Goose. It's quick to the point. It's a lot easier to say.
Quick to the point. But it looks really great in online gaming. Goose Flesh. It's like, wow, that guy's made of Goose flesh.
Is that your PlayStation name or your Xbox name or whatever, or what?
It was at a point, but it's just always been my handle everywhere else online, my usernames and all that fun stuff. So I have already sort of bonded with the name, and I've gotten used to it. So I'm like, okay. Which I never could quite get that grasp on, at the other name. So.
Well, sweet, man.
Like a phoenix born from the ashes and rising of the flame, the Goose is born. So let's just leave it at that, and we will move on.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but let's jump into the Walking Dead.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Yeah.
It's been a while since. I mean, we came out with that one YouTube video, but
we're doing. I think it's paced at we're doing every 2 episodes, which is okay.
Yeah. So
I think the only episodes we have to cover is pretty much the last one and the epic mid-season finale, which it really ended with a bang. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say that, a lot of people I know within my circles and even a lot of people that we've gotten some feedback from on the YouTube channel and other places don't seem to think that the second season fares quite as well as the first one. Whereas the first one,
which I agree with, but...
No, I want to give my 2 cents on that.
Okay.
I get it. They're different. The first season was more action-packed. They have to establish themselves. A lot more zombies, a lot more suspense. And the second one was very drama, very character-driven, very story-driven. And, yeah, some of the subplots sort of drag on quite a few episodes, Mm-hmm. But I really do think all that served the series, I don't think that necessarily season 3 is going to be in that same pace. It doesn't have to be, Yeah. And it's not. I think people are under the wrong impression that this is not an hour and a half George Romero zombie flick or something where we've only got an hour and a half to kill. Let's just have as much zombie flesh ripping suspense as we can. This is an entire series, and it's not necessarily a zombie series. It's a series about the people. It's in the environment, and if we were really in that situation like these people are on the series, that we would have this downtime. There would be that drama. Maybe not as much drama as that group is pulling, like with the baby mamas and the love triangles and all that stuff. But that stuff would exist, at least spread out. Come on, man. We're still human beings. Mm-hmm. And I personally didn't have a problem with it. Some characters didn't shine a whole lot in this series. I mean, like Norman Reedus, he might have been totally blocked out a few episodes because we're focusing on Rick and Shane or whatever, but it wasn't as balanced in the character department, I guess. But like I said,
the one guy that I don't know, he just gets under my skin is Dale, the older guy in the show. Something about him. I mean, he's in everybody's business, first of all.
Well, yeah.
He's just kind of an annoying character to me. I don't know.
I like his character. It adds to the balance, but I get what you're saying. He is in everybody's business, and he's like the grandfather figure.
The father knows best bullshit. Yeah,
he's looking after everybody, and like that whole thing in the last episode where he just confronts Shane, about his business, and Shane gets all threatening, but we'll get into that. I don't mind his character at all because he kind of stirs up the pot too, just like Shane stirs up the pot and different people stir up the pot within their circle. I don't like, and you can flame me if you want, but I can't think of her name. Gosh, the blonde chick. What's her name? Help me out.
Ah, shitty. It's not Amber, is it?
Edit. We'll be editing this out.
You know what? I'm not even going to edit it because.
See, this is how much I hate her character. I can't even remember. Andrea. There you go, folks. Andrea. I can't stand her character. She just and maybe it's a good thing. Like it's one of those things that, well, I love to hate. It's good that she's in there because we love to hate, but she drives me up the wall, man. Like in real life, I'm relating to it as if this was our group, and if she was in our group, I would have already called for a lynch mob.
She's a good-looking broad, though.
I don't think so. I think she's got a dog face.
Really?
Yeah, I think she's too tomboyish. She's very manly and scary. I think so, dude. We're not even talking about the attractive element, but if you want to go there, I think she's got a dog face.
Well, I mean, she's attractive for the zombie holocaust, being the last group of women.
She's tunnel pretty, is what you're saying.
She's better than Buzzcut Carol.
I don't know, man. I see the way
O'Connor.
I see the way Norman Reedus checks out Carol. I think we're gonna get a little piece of action there.
Oh God. Well, didn't he call her like a stupid bitch the other day?
Yeah, but that was him like being protective.
Yeah, he's blowing some steam. Yeah, blowing off some steam.
He was being protective. But anyway, no, I just don't like her character. She, to me, is annoying. She's too defiant. She's not helping the cause. She's too pig-headed. And, like, when she shot Norman Reedus in that last episode...
She's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, it's just like, she's like a child. It's like, there you go. We told you, and you still did it anyway, and look what happened. Your baby brother got hurt or whatever. I mean, there's no room for immaturity like that in a group, in a situation like that. And then are we going to actually break down the episodes, or are we just going to like pinpoint little things during this conversation like we started to do?
Well, people have seen them by now, I think. Let's just kind of talk about, I don't know, maybe shit we liked and stuff we didn't like.
Well, I mean, and when she sat there and made it with Shane, I was like, bravo, a scumbag for a scumbag. And it's all right.
I kind of like that.
Well, of course you did.
She gave him the old Melina Arnold where she grabs his crotch or whatever. She's like, "What have you been feeding this thing? Blondes? I think it's hungry."
Oh gosh. But yeah, so that's probably my least favorite character. And
athletic, sleazy, and demure.
And then of course, the token black guy of the show gets no screen time at all on the Well. He got a little bit initially, but he was still definitely a secondary character in the first season. But this one, it's like he's just dropped off the map. Every now and again, you see him in a shot.
I can't even remember his name half the time. T-Dog or whatever.
But
it's a little ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I have to say Shane still is my favorite character on the show, just because he's just, I don't know, something about him. I mean,
well, he's the recluse, man.
He's the memorable character. I mean, he's a lot better than Rick, I think. And, of course, I hate Dale. I just can't stand him. Of course, Daryl, of course, is great. But
Daryl's great. And I'm very happy that in the last couple of episodes he got to shine a little bit. Like, that episode where he went off looking for the girl and he fell on his arrow. And then he was hallucinating about Merle was, like, on his foot. And he woke up and the zombie was chewing on his foot, did his shoe. Dude, that was a freaky part. That was a great part.
Pretty cool. I like that.
And I enjoyed that because it was like, for a good 10 minutes or whatever, it was a one-man show with Daryl.
Yeah.
And we just got to soak in his character a little bit because he had been a little absent, But yeah, so the last two episodes, the main points to focus on are that weird relationship between Carol and Daryl. Carol and Daryl, that's cute.
Carol and Daryl.
What is it? I was talking to a friend and a friend of mine that is kind of fed up with the show as far as, like, they're not liking the new season. And they told me, they're like, if Carol and Daryl get it on, I am done watching the show. Like, they just see the drama, like, going that way. I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he sees her more as, like, a either older sisterly figure or a motherly figure. And there's something there. There's something that has him feeling for her.
Well, I mean, everybody's bitching about the whole, soap opera aspect of it. But, I mean, all in all, I enjoy that because I actually...
watch soap operas.
Watch soap operas with a river woman, so it kind of I don't know. I enjoy that, sometimes. I mean,
these are the days of our lives.
More Young and the Restless, but
okay. That's something you guys can debate on the boards. There, are you guys the days of our lives fan? General Hospital or Young and the Restless? The poll will be posted soon.
Yeah, I probably took away my mail card right there, but.
You'll be the only one that voted on it. 100% goes to.
I think Lush is more into General Hospital. Actually, he was real big into it, but I don't know if he still is.
Which one has Franco, dude?
Franco.
James Franco's on one of them.
I think he might be General Hospital. Mine has Eddie Winslow and Little Richie, dude.
Oh yeah.
Family Matters.
But anyway, we're getting derived to the point here. Void.
But yeah, it's kind of like a soap opera, but
it's good because you know what? I don't mind it.
I like the go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm saying I don't mind it either. I like a little bit of drama, and it also helps it appeal to different audiences. That's why I think girls are really into it, because maybe that as well. You know, when guys have their zombie stuff, because we never had such drama in like Romero flicks, or God knows not Fulci zombie, you know. So I think it's cool. It has helped make it so accessible, and it's helped make it the big hit that it is, which gives us more seasons, which gives us more to watch and more to talk about. So, you know what? I'm all good with it.
Now, what do you think about Maggie? Do you think she's pretty attractive? I think.
You know what? She doesn't do it for me, man. The farmer's daughter image does not do it for me at all. She's very, you know, maybe it's for the role, but she comes off very plain. But that's for the role, the sake of farmer's daughter and all that stuff. But it doesn't do it for me, and you know. But you know, good for the Korean guy. I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, it's too early.
Oh, Glenn.
Glenn. Sorry, guys. Sorry, all you Koreans out there.
He gets his mini egg roll on.
Sorry again, all those Koreans out there. But yeah, you know, I applauded. I cheered. I took off my shirt and spun it in the air when that happened.
I karate chopped the screen.
So sorry again, Koreans who do taekwondo and not karate.
But yeah,
RiverMan needs to get a little cultured. I'm sorry.
RiverMan's been in his cave for a little too long. But yeah, let's kind of talk about this. Well, I guess it isn't the season finale because it's the mid-season finale. What were your thoughts on the mid-season finale? Were you pretty satisfied? Did you see the ending coming?
Well,
I have to say it was pretty obvious once. I don't know. Shit started hitting the fan. You knew she was going to be in there.
Honestly, I didn't see the little girl being in there. I didn't see it, but I technically did because I was actually watching it with my my little brother. I actually had caught it. I went over to my family's house for the holidays and was hanging out there. And my little brother had already watched it, and they had TiVo'd it because they're big fans of it as well. And he's a little tyke, man, so he's always just chomping at the bit to tell you what happened. And I'm like, don't tell me what happens. And he's watching it with me, and literally right before they go up to the barn, he just blurts it out, "She's in there!" I'm like, "You son of a..." And then like 3 seconds, he's like, "The girl's in there!" And then 3 seconds later, she comes out, and it's like blue balls. It's right before the climax, and he tells me right before it happens, and it ruined it. And I was so pissed off. Like, if you could talk to the people that were in that room, I was just taking it out on him. I was so pissed because I had been waiting for it all day long for a week. Actually,
you've been waiting for it all season.
All season, and he tells me, like, literally right when they're going up to the barn, and then Shane's opening it. You know, that big climactic. He's like, "Don't, Shane, don't!" And he opens it, then he just blurts it out, and then like 2 seconds later, she walks through. I'm like, "Ah!" It just ruined it. That's like if you were jerking me off, and right before I was about to hose my load, them telling me they were really a guy, and then it's too late, and I start geysering all over the place, and it's too late.
I'd be like, "Dude, you're so gay."
That never has happened, by the way, folks. That's the best analogy I could come up with on the spot.
Probably why he wants to get rid of the RiverRocket name and change it to Goose.
Probably. There's some bad memory.
Past couple weeks.
That's why I said don't ask. Let's just move on. But that was a really dirty analogy. I wish I had more time to think something that was more appropriate. I'm sorry, Grandma. But, you know, it ended with the bang. And the big thing about this episode was Dale confronted Shane, and then all of a sudden Shane gets really creepy and threatening, like, hey, kind of like, because he takes the guns. He takes everybody's guns because they start running anarchy on the place now. You know, they don't necessarily agree with the old man owning the farm, and they're like, you know, screw it. This guy doesn't like guns. We're going to get our guns. We're going to take out that barn because Shane starts leading the tribe. You know,
wouldn't you take out the barn? I sure as hell would.
Well, you know what? Honestly.
Or are you gonna let it be run by Herschel? It's Herschel's land.
Listen. I'm not in the situation, so it's easier for me to sort of give my opinions just from the arm couch, you know? But so maybe it might be different if we were actually on that property and in that situation. But, you know, just from a viewer standpoint, it is his land, and his requests were pretty simple. He's like, look, if you guys want to stay here, you guys got to follow my rules, and that's our family down here. We're choosing to keep them, whatever. If you don't like that, you guys can move on. That's pretty cut and dry to me.
Yeah,
man.
but they're not just rounding up their family members. They're rounding up strays or whatever from I don't know, the river, and they're bringing them back. It's like, really, just kill them off. This is Ben from 2 houses down. Who cares? Just kill him.
I'm just saying, you got to think of the aftermath. So what happens if we defied that and we went in and we killed them? What kind of rift is that going to cause? It's like there's a pretty good chance they're not going to let us stay on that land anyway. And it's not like, just because the law kind of goes out the window, now that the world is gone and zombies have run amok, does the law go out the window? And then it's like, hey, does courtesy go out the window? We've stepped on your feet. We've did, against your will, and you're saying we can't stay. Well, we're staying anyway, and we're going to use force, Well,
when it comes to sleeping 2 minutes away from things that'll, kill you in a matter of seconds, I would, I wouldn't want to leave, but I'd probably take over Herschel and, maybe kick him out of his own farm. It's mean to say, but you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's a tough situation, but that's why it was a really good conflict in the show, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I don't like his. I really don't like him either, Herschel.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of his, but
I've enjoyed his character enough.
No, he's a good. No, I enjoy his character. I just don't like him on the show.
Yeah. Okay, so that Dale confronted Shane because he stole all the guns. And of course, I guess old people stick together. I'm taking the guns. But anyway, he didn't want to start World War IX because I think he was wanting to move on out, right? Didn't he say we can last one more night?
And he started spitting out some stupid. This is your world. This isn't our world. Something stupid like that. He's like, this is where you should be, Shane. This is where we should be. It's like, dude, who cares, man? You're gonna change in that situation. Everybody's gonna change.
And then of course Shane gets the guns back. He got pretty scary there. I thought he might have shot Dale and thrown him in the river at that point.
Should have, man.
But anyway, he goes to the barn. They open it. He leads the lynch mob, and the biggest climax. Yeah, they open the doors. The girl is presented, and the actual moment that isn't the focal point, but I think should be the focal point. It's probably, to most people, the little girl. Okay, wow, we've been waiting for it all season. Here she is. But to me, that moment where, it's too late, Rick is trying to restrain a zombie. He's got one by the neck.
Oh,
with and he's, of course, yelling at Shane. Not a whole lot they can do because they're roping him with the neck because Rick's going along with Herschel, like, help me do this. Yeah. And but it's too late. He opens the barn, and all heck breaks loose, and they start blowing him away. And I do like the part where Shane just blows away the zombies him and Herschel have.
I know, dude.
Like, just like blows their brains out right there. But, okay, it's the point where it's too late. Zombies are out. The girl presents herself, and which is funny. It's very dramatic how she's the last one to come out. Like, oh, very dramatic for the show. She's not just in the mob.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's that moment where everything kind of freezes, and Rick pulls up his gun, and he shoots her.
No, I agree. And what?
That's the moment.
No, it's the best part of the show, I think, because it sums it all up, because he basically killed the girl 4 episodes ago when he left her out there alone, which is the stupidest thing ever. You're leaving some young little girl to, hide here, I'll be back for you. Why didn't he just, kill one of the zombies? And what was the point of hiding her when he could have just killed her when she was with him?
I don't know what to think back. I don't know how hard it would have been just to pick her up and take her over his shoulder,
Kill the zombie with a rock or something so they don't hear the gunfire. And see, that part just kind of, I didn't understand, like, in the beginning. They probably just try to throw something together and be like, okay, how can we get this girl to come back in the end?
But you know what? It was more than him just shooting her. It was like, when he pulled that trigger, who was it that really died? Was it the girl or was it Rick himself?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Rick's going to change after that.
Because he looked like, you could see in his eyes, he just looked like he changed in an instant,
Yeah.
But we don't know. Maybe he felt like, I'm the leader of the pack and I should do it.
Well,
because
it was his responsibility to kill her, I think.
I think he just looked at Carol and gave her a nod, and she gave a nod back. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And it seems like that might have been seemed like a very rash and quick decision to make on Carol's part, because a lot of parents and mothers might be like, don't kill my baby. But, she had a wild...
she's been coping with it for the past couple months.
Exactly. So, anyway, I'm very eager to see on the second part of the season what that meant for Rick.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it might have been pretty life-changing for him, too. But that's pretty much the episode. That's the last two. A brief summary. We didn't really talk about the one before that too much, but, not a whole lot happened. Daryl got shot.
Yeah.
More back-and-forth stuff with Herschel,
He's having, the pregnancy.
Oh, yeah. We don't know if it's...
or he's pregnant. We don't know if it's Rick's or Shane's.
We still don't know if it's Rick's or Shane's. Shane, I think, pretty much is convinced it's his, of course, like it always works out. And, and if Glenn tells Dale for some reason. But, just drama, man. So that's the only... What's that?
I just think it's kind of funny how ever since Shane got a taste of Lori's cooter, he's like obsessed with her.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He talks like he's been obsessed with her since high school, for crying out loud.
That's true.
But who knows, man?
The goods must have been that sweet.
That's sick, dude.
But yeah, that pretty much sums up the mid-season.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has anything to comment on that we missed, or maybe they're an opinion that we didn't touch on, or something that you don't agree with, as far as our opinions go, feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
Sound off on the boards and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so what do you got going music-wise there, Goose?
Music-wise, man, to be honest with you, it's been a really, really, really busy last 4 weeks or so for me. I've been... in coming back from Russia, spent a good week in New York City, went home for a week for Thanksgiving. Now I'm in Orange County, so I've been all over the map. One show, when I was in St. Petersburg, I saw the great Sir Elton John for the second time this year. And fantastic show. He always delivers. The bitch was truly in raw form. Mm-hmm. And I was very pleasantly surprised that he changed the set list up since his show in the springtime here in the States. Very, very, very great. He was, back in America where I saw him in Missouri, actually, he opened with Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding, which honestly is very hard to compete with because that's a rare gem and an amazing song as well. But overall, the set list was amazing. And he closed with his ode to the Russian people, Nikita, which was very cool. It was just a solo piece with him on piano. So it was a very, very lovely evening. He definitely loves the Russian audience. As far as records go, the only new record I think I've listened to in the last few weeks is the new Megadeth 13, which I will say is a very solid record. To me, it's exactly the way they described it would be, sort of a little bit of every piece of their career. It's a weird blend between sort of the mid-90s. There's a little bit of Countdown to Extinction in there, a little bit of Euthanasia, quite a chunk of cryptic writings, which I don't have a problem with that. I like the 90s stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's its thrashy moments, there's its Peace Sells moments, and there's its Rust in Peace moments, but not super heavy on any of it. Whereas maybe Endgame was extra thrashy, their last album.
Yeah.
The production itself, it's pretty good. It might be a little stale. I mean, a little dry, but it's not a huge deal. Dave Mustaine's voice is still sounding very Dave Mustaine-ish. You can tell he's getting older. It's a more rugged Dave Mustaine, but it's undeniably him, and everybody sounds really good on it. Some feedback on that album and some backlash is that a handful of songs have already been released before in some incarnation. Like there's Sudden Death, which actually came out for Guitar Hero Legends of Rock like last year. So they went ahead and put that as the first track on the album. So technically that's a rehash, but they re-recorded it. I believe it's 2 songs that were actually old demos that they've never been professionally released, but they've been released as like B-sides. Millennium of the Blind, that was a B-side on the reissue of Euthanasia, and they re-recorded that and kind of tinkered with the writing of it and re-released that here, as well as another one as well. So, there's been some backlash on that. It's like, we got a handful of songs that have already been kind of out before. But you know what? They fit, and the record's good. I recommend giving a listen if you're a fan of Megadeth. I personally like it better than Endgame as a whole. Mm-hmm. And there's one track on there. I think I posted it on the wall, the Facebook wall, when I first started listening to the record, when I first got it. It's called Deadly Nightshade. It's very, very, very catchy. It's very grooving. So check out that song. Check out Sudden Death. And see if you like those tracks, and they represent the balance of the album. One of them's really fast. Sudden Death is kind of endgame-ish, very thrashy, and Deadly Nightshade is very grooving. So check out those, and that should give you a pretty good idea, I'd hope. But, yeah. And we had a question. One question, I believe. It was a few weeks back. Who was it that asked me? Do you have all that information up? It was, what are my top 10 favorite riffs?
Or yeah, it was basically what are some of your...
Well, we got to give a shout out who asked the question.
Hold on. Yeah, I think it was from Zach Wells.
Okay. Zach Wells asked me what were... I think he said like my top 10. I'm not sure. And I made a list because it was really fun to make this list, by the way, but it was really hard. And I didn't quite get 10. I think I got more like... let me see what I got here. Like... I don't know. It looks like I got closer to 15 to 20. So here's mine. Not necessarily in any particular order because then I'd be here for another year. But my list going down, Metallica Blackened, the intro riff, of course. Mm-hmm. To me, it defines Metallica, and it still gets my blood boiling, and it just gives me that intro, with the backwards recorded guitars, and then it just builds and builds and builds to that climax where it just bursts into, and and I have this image of watching the live Seattle concert from the Justice Tour in '89 off the live shit Binge and Purge, where they open with that song. YouTube it if you guys want, and it's still one of the best memories as a child being a fan of that music, because when it just bursts in, Hetfield's mop, his big blonde mop, his head banging so crazy, and you look at that, it's like, wow, this Hetfield is no longer here anymore. But I'm gonna enjoy this because he was the head. Well, I'm not saying that as an insult, but he's not.
Yeah. No,
he was crazy, man. His head banging was top form. It was just, he was nuts. So Blackened for sure, the intro riff, and I'm getting particular on what parts of the riff too. This is an obvious one. I couldn't escape it. Of course, it was easy to say Rain and Blood, but I didn't want to say Rain and Blood. I'm going to go with Slayer and Angel of Death for the bridge, that bridge riff. Just as iconic as Raining Blood, and it's just hard to deny it. And if you guys all know what I'm talking about. The whatever. It all makes us just bob our head and groove when we hear it. Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. After the creepy arpeggio ends, it bursts in, the high gain comes on, and it bursts into the high gain muted version of that, and it's just one of the greatest riffs Randy Rhoads produced. Megadeth, this is another kind of obvious one, but I couldn't help it.
Destruction?
No, Holy Wars. Oh. Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. I had to say this song, and it's one of their staples. And as far as which riff, the entire song, because Holy Wars has literally 10 of the greatest thrash riffs all in one song in it. It is a perfect thrash song. I had to throw a Black Sabbath one in there, and I'm going to choose Into the Void off of Master of Reality. It defines sludge. It defines sludge, stoner, doomy. It's perfect. Busting through it, King Diamond, Sleepless Nights off of Conspiracy. Just the chorus riff, man, it is so catchy. It's one of my favorites from Andy LaRocque, Diamond's Axeman of the Day. And following suit, Merciful Fate, his King Diamond's original band. It's a toss-up, man. Into the Coven off of Melissa, their debut, or Gypsy off of Don't Break the Oath. Incredible tunes. My Pantera pick is going to be Becoming. becoming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had never heard a riff like that. You know, it introduced me to the way Dimebag would use his whammy pedal to make those riffs. That high pitch, you know, cat stuck in an escalator squeal. You know, that he would use, and it's just very iconic to me. And it's kind of the song that I think we all wish we wrote. Dream Theater, I'm going to say their track "Home" off of Scenes from a Memory, Metropolis Part 2. And then actually I'm going to pick a track that's not a band, but it's from the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. It's the battle theme, written by Nobuo Uematsu. It's an incredible riff. One of my favorites, our Mr. Daniel Tidwell Todd, River. He actually covered this on his YouTube channel. You know, much more about him. An interview coming with him to be posted on the site soon. Had to throw some priest. Had to throw a priest in there, and it was really hard to pick. But you know, too much priest to pick. But I decided to throw in the Sentinel from Defenders of the Faith, and maybe Bloodstone from Screaming for Vengeance. Old school Ronnie James Dio, Rainbow, Stargazer, incredible Richie Blackmore, incredible guitar player and incredible riffing. Sepultura, old school Sepultura from Arise, Desperate Cry, when it just breaks in there. Do you remember that one, River?
Yeah.
After the creepy, you know, that melodic melody intro comes in, and it just it gets a rise out of me every time. Corrosion of Conformity, I want to say In the Arms of God, off of their last album with Pepper Keenan. Gosh, man, when did that come out? 2003, I think. I might be a little off on that, maybe 2005. It is the last track on the album and the title track of the whole record. It is incredible. Very, very, very great record. The whole record itself is a really great homage to bands like Black Sabbath and things like that, but it's incredible. And Rush, I'm going to say, this is kind of an obvious Rush track, but I'm going to go ahead and say YYZ. To me, YYZ defined the progressive rock instrumental, and it laid the blueprint on all these bands that we see doing these instrumentals, you know, like Dream Theater, or, you know, whoever. YYZ is incredible, and it's a fantastic, fantastic riff. The whole song, front to back. Great solos, too. I couldn't decide, man. I love Young Lust. I love Run Like Hell, both off of The Wall. And, you know, even Have a Cigar, even though it's not really riffing. But I'm going to say Young Lust or Run Like Hell for sure. But that rounds out my list.
Well, that'll wrap up the segment, I guess. Let's.
Yeah, good question, Zach. That was a fun one.
Yeah, keep them coming, man.
Those ones are fun.
We'll come back in the next segment. I think we're going to close out the show, and we'll go from there. So, in that, you're listening to Behind the Mask.
Hey, see you later, guys.
If you've ever considered stepping behind the beaded curtain at a sleazy video store, if you've ever watched something so vile that you had to lock the door behind you, if you currently have a VCR still connected to your home theater, then get yourself over to Exploited Cinema at exploitedcinema.blogspot.com. Bat32 and J-Dog always keep it greasy, and remember to keep telling yourself
it's only a podcast.
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 Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that review.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the whole fucking show, people.
Yeah. Last Circus, like we said.
Yeah.
Go to Netflix and watch it.
Fuck yeah. Check that shit out. Guess we're going to go ahead and just kind of close out the show now. This might be, well, maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it all comes out, but maybe one of our shorter shows, actually, for once, you know. Past few, I know, have ran a bit long.
A little bit longer than I like.
Yeah, I don't really like to do them too long either, but hopefully this one will, be a little shorter and sweeter.
And we're trying to figure out, like, I don't know what we're going to be talking about next show. I really want to get another show up before Christmas.
Definitely.
That's my ultimate goals. And I'd like to get the fans involved somehow, or if there's anybody listening out there involved.
Yeah. If you guys have any ideas, man, on how you guys want to get involved, you know, whatever. I mean, we will take any suggestions, so...
Just like we always said, this show isn't, written in stone, the format or anything.
Not at all, man.
So we're trying to tweak some new things. I mean, we need to change it up. Just
for our loyal, listeners, you guys all know that each show's been a little different. Like nothing's been exactly the same every show. So.
And let us know what you like, and let us know what you don't like. Like, I mean, there's certain shows that we could obviously tell and get more, more love than other ones, which is fine with us. We really don't care. Just just let us know what you guys want to hear, and we'll make it happen. And
for sure. Yeah, in the closing of the show here, I do want to mention too. I know we've mentioned it on the show before, and we posted stuff on the Facebook page about the TheRedRocket.com.
Yeah.
I actually had the privilege of getting out to one of their launch parties for their second season. It was their, I think it was webisode 3, called The Backseat. And I got to go check that out and kind of drink and have some fun with the people behind that web series and some of the actors and the director and writers and all that stuff. And I had a hell of a good time, a lot more fun than I probably should have had for a Tuesday night. It was a hell of a good time, and those guys just everybody involved, they're all great people. And so definitely check that out, man. TheRedRocket.com. That episode, or the webisode that I saw, was really good. And they just put out the 4th webisode within the past couple days of us recording this here. It's called Inside Man, and has a great concept. It's a guy who's, I believe it's called an agoraphobic, somebody that's afraid of going outside, like leaving their house.
Yeah. And
so he's an agoraphobic, but he's in a haunted house.
Yeah.
So he's scared of what's in the house, and he's scared to go outside the house. So fantastic concept. It's a great little web series, kind of Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone type of stuff. Really, really good stuff. Really entertaining, and they've gotten some national press, I believe, and national horror magazines and internet magazines and stuff like that. So definitely check them out. I just wanted to make a mention of that before we close the show.
Also, I kind of wanted to throw out there that we want to do like a mystery VHS giveaway.
Yeah,
what we'd actually been talking about. Yeah. And for Christmas, I really want to do this. Like here in the next few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be posting something on the Facebook page, and the winner of whatever it is. I know I'm kind of working out the details right now with Lush and Goose, but the winner gets a free VHS, and we'll throw you just send us your address, and we'll throw you a free VHS, and we'll go from there. Just for listening, we appreciate it. So
yeah, we got some pretty cool old VHS movies and stuff.
Yeah, if you're into VHS, we definitely have some things you might be interested in.
Because it's been kind of crazy. A lot of people are collecting VHS movies like they've been collecting, like people collect records, like albums and stuff like that. So, and we've come across some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Actually, I'll say this. Even if it's out of my own personal collection,
okay.
The first person that comments on our Facebook page, I want you to comment the word clit boner. Clit boner. The first person that posts clit boner on our Facebook page, I will send you a cool VHS movie.
Sweet.
How about that? I want to see who's listening.
Yeah, you can't beat that. Clit boner. That's just gonna right in the face. I love that.
That's clit boner is the password.
But yeah, and we'll send you a pretty solid VHS too. It's not gonna be some shit Jerry Maguire VHS
no
type of movie.
Nothing like that. It'll be a good one.
But yeah, sweet.
Clit boner.
Clit boner. Remember that. And thanks guys for listening. We're hoping to get something out here pretty soon for the next episode. So
yeah, we hope that there won't be a long pause in between episodes, but sometimes it just happens that way. So
yeah.
Hopefully we'll get the next one out here soon.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up. And this is the RiverMan
and the Lush.
And you're listening to Behind the Mask.
Keep it sleazy, bitches.